Whether the PLA Air Force fields 50 tankers today or 75 by the decade's end, the message is unmistakable: China's Air Force is no longer just a regional player. It's a global contender, and the world, especially the Pentagon, is watching closely. On February 21, 2025, military aviation enthusiast Andreas Ruprecht, known on X as @RuprechtDano, dropped a tantalizing update that sent ripples through the defense analysis community. A previously unconfirmed YY-20A tanker, bearing the serial number 20646, had finally been spotted in photographs. This sighting not only filled a gap in the documented roster of China's growing fleet of aerial refueling aircraft but also reignited a simmering question: just how many YY-20A tankers does the People's Liberation Army Air Force actually have in service? Ruprecht's post speculated whether all aircraft numbered from 20,541 to 21,040 potentially 50 tankers are indeed operational YY-20As, or if renumbering tricks have muddled the count. The truth remains elusive, shrouded in the opacity that often cloaks Chinese military developments, but the implications are profound. Estimating the exact number of YY-20A tankers in service is a speculative exercise at best, given Beijing's reluctance to share detailed force structure data. If all 50 serials from 20,541 to 21,040 represent active YY-20A tankers, as Ruprecht posits, it would mark an astonishing production pace for a platform that only entered service in 2022. However, posts on X and analysis from sources like Aviation Week suggest a more conservative figure. A 2023 assessment projected that by 2032, China could field up to 75 YY-20 tankers, implying a current fleet closer to a dozen or so, with production scaling up annually. The sighting of 20,646, nestled mid-sequence, hints that the PLA Air Force may indeed be churning out these aircraft at a steady clip, perhaps 6 to 8 per year, as some analysts estimate transitioning from the initial YY-20A to the more advanced YY-20B variant powered by indigenous WS-20 engines. Yet, the possibility of renumbering or dual-purpose Y-20B transports moonlighting as tankers complicates the picture. For now, the fleet likely sits somewhere between 10 and 20 operational YY-20As, with dozens more in the pipeline as China races to bolster its strategic airlift and refueling capabilities. The YY-20A, and its broader Y-20 family, is more than just a numbers game. It's a linchpin in the PLA Air Force's transformation into a global power projection force. Derived from the Xi'an Y-20 strategic transport, the YY-20A tanker variant can haul up to 90 tons of fuel, tripling the capacity of the aging H-6U tankers it's replacing. This leap allows Chinese fighters like the J-20 and J-16 to extend their combat radii far beyond the first island chain, a defensive arc stretching from Japan through Taiwan to the Philippines. For the People's Liberation Army, this means not just defending territorial airspace but sustaining offensive operations across the Indo-Pacific, from the South China Sea to potential flashpoints like Guam or even further afield. The Y-20 platform's versatility serving as a transport, tanker, and potentially an airborne early warning and control asset mirrors the multi-role flexibility of Western designs like the Airbus A400M, but on a scale that rivals the U.S. Air Force's C-17 Globemaster III. Paired with China's growing overseas base network, the YY-20A empowers the PLA to deploy and sustain forces rapidly, whether for combat or humanitarian missions, signaling a shift from regional defense to global reach. Across the Pacific, American military officials have taken note, and their commentary reflects a mix of grudging respect and mounting concern. The Pentagon's 2024 China Military Power Report, released in December, underscored the PLA Air Force's rapid modernization, noting that its 3,150 aircraft, over 2,400 of them combat-capable, make it the third-largest air force globally, nipping at the heels of the U.S. Air Force. A senior Pentagon official, speaking anonymously during a briefing, highlighted the YY-20's role in this ascent. The Chinese are closing gaps fast. Their tanker fleet, led by the YY-20, gives their stealth fighters and bombers the legs to challenge our forces in the Western Pacific. Chris Osborne, a military expert writing for the National Interest, echoed this unease in 2018, long before the YY-20B emerged, warning that the Y-20 family could double the range of China's fifth-generation fighters, a prophecy now unfolding. More recently, in a 2023 analysis for the Warzone, Osborne pointed to the YY-20B's hot and high takeoff capability enabled by the WS-20 engine as a game-changer, allowing operations from rugged, high-altitude bases that could support a Taiwan contingency. The subtext is clear: The US fears a PLA Air Force that can sustain long-range strikes and counter American naval dominance, a prospect that keeps planners awake at night in Washington. So, what exactly is this aircraft that's stirring such transatlantic jitters? The YY-20, nicknamed Chubby Girl for its wide fuselage, debuted in 2013 as China's first homegrown heavy airlifter, developed by Xi'an Aircraft Industrial Corporation with some Russian and Ukrainian assistance. The base YY-20A transport, powered initially by Russian D-30 KP-2 engines, boasts a 66-ton payload and a range of up to 7,800 kilometers when fully loaded, capable of carrying everything from ZTZ-99 tanks to medical supplies. The YY-20A tanker variant, introduced in 2022, swaps cargo for fuel pallets, featuring 2 underwing refueling pods and a centerline drogue for large aircraft like the H-6N bomber or KJ-500A AEW&C platform. The Y-20B, rolled out by 2023, upgrades to 4 Shenyang WS-20 high-bypass turbofans, boosting thrust to 31,000 pounds per engine and enhancing the range and short-field performance. A YY-20B tanker subvariant, spotted in late 2023, likely builds on this, though some speculate the Y-20B's modular design allows any unit to double as a tanker with minimal reconfiguration. Advanced avionics, a glass cockpit with heads-up displays, and composite materials round out a platform that's as modern as it is massive, with a 50-meter wingspan and 47-meter length. Beyond China's borders, the Y-20's export potential is starting to turn heads. Nigeria has been floated as a prospective buyer since at least January 2024, per Wikipedia's tracking of PLA Air Force marketing efforts, drawn perhaps by the aircraft's ability to operate from austere fields a boon for African nations with uneven infrastructure. Venezuela, with its pro-China leanings, and several African states like Egypt, where the Y-20 dazzled crowds at the 2024 Egypt International Airshow, is also in the mix. The Warzone reported in September 2024 that China's display of the Y-20A at South Africa's AAD 2024 Expo underscored its push into the continent. Analysts see a niche for the Y-20E export variant, powered by WS-20s, appealing to countries needing strategic lift without the geopolitical baggage of US or NATO-aligned platforms. With production capacity ramping up and a civilian Y-20 F-100 variant pitched for commercial use, China's betting on a global market hungry for its chubby girl. The YY-20's emergence, crystallized by that 20,646 sighting, is a microcosm of China's broader military ascent, a blend of ambition, engineering, and strategic foresight that's reshaping the Indo-Pacific balance. China's Air Force is no longer just a regional player. It's a global contender, and the world, especially the Pentagon, is watching closely.